Marvel Comics is looking to wind down the X-Men's massive multi-year Krakoan saga, but to do so in style, the publisher is opening up two brand new miniseries known as Fall of the House of X and Rise of the Powers of Ten. In previous chapters of Fall of the House of X, readers got a chance to see Firestar operate deep within cover over at Orchis, and readers also saw Juggernaut try and save the Krakoan tree. In addition, here, we're also set to see Cyclops and Dr. Gregor explore this fascinating division of Orchis known as Sentinel City. My name is Arako Braddock, and today, let's go ahead and review the third issue of Fall of the House of X. Before we get deeper into the video, I want to encourage you to consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button over on our video. The end has truly begun. The X-Men have taken all they're willing to from Orchis. Now it's time for them to do the dishing out. Unfortunately, just when it seems like one threat is over, another rises to take its place. The final battle of the Krakoan Age rages as two series that are one move forward, a crash that will echo the Marvel Universe. So Fall of the House of X issue 3 is still written by Gerry Duggan, featuring artwork from Werneck and Jethro Morales. We have colors from Bryan Valenza, letters from VC's Travis Lanham, design from Tom Muller and Jay Bowen. And the cover for the issue is illustrated over from Pepe Larraz and Marte Gracia. Really appreciate the way that this cover showcases Dr. Stasis in an incredibly violent scenario over on Fall of the House of X, especially after he's given our mutants such a hard time in previous chapters here. And I want to extend a quick thank you over to Adventures in Poor Taste and preview some of the excellent artwork in Fall of the House of X3 over from Jethro Morales as well as Werneck. So really like this sequence late within the course of Fall of the House of X as we get to see Cyclops and Dr. Gregor trying to escape over in France. I think their camaraderie across this chapter is really stunning, especially with how it builds off some of the plot threads with Orchis in the first chapter of House of X as well. Fall of the House of X3 does a wonderful job picking up on the plot thread between Juggernaut and Krakoa teased in previous chapters of Fall of the House of X. This one really sees Juggernaut trying to move Krakoa across a desert after being apprehended by some Orchis soldiers. I really find the way that both Krakoa and Juggernaut respond to some of these threats to be really interesting, and Gerry Duggan does a great job moving the plot threads over from Juggernaut to this really interesting piece of conversation between Dr. Gregor and Cyclops late within the course of this issue as well. I also was incredibly surprised to see Fall of the House of X switch locations from France all the way to the planet Aurico, the X-Men's terraformed version of Mars. Really picking up on so many of the plot threads from X-Men Red, as well as seeing Apocalypse, Rogue, and Gambit together again were just so thrilling on the page too. I think Gerry Duggan did a wonderful job following up on some previous really mysterious plot threads from Fall of the House of X, including characters like Manifold, to really build and create plot threads that feel really narratively cohesive across issue to issue of this core series. I was so impressed too with the way that Duggan was able to implement so many pieces of the narrative in Marvel Comics' Sword series created by Al Ewing. I just thought that run was very short-lived, and seeing pieces of it echo towards the end of the Krakoan Age in comic books like Dead X-Men or Fall of the House of X is so intriguing to me as a comic book reader. I've also found the character of Manifold to be so thrilling and just such a fascinating character teased to have such a big piece within the Marvel Universe. I think this issue finally gives him a little bit of that payoff and also gives just a brilliant coda over to Sword as well. I also just wanted to briefly mention that it was so cool once again to see John Ironfire within the course of Fall of the House of X. He's an incredibly new character introduced within the Krakoan era, and I really hope he begins to shine as well as we transition into the next phase of the X-Men line of titles. So at the end of the day, I really think Fall of the House of X Chapter 3 is an incredible issue of the core series, doing a great job following up on so many interesting plots. I also absolutely love where this comic book leaves off with Dr. Stasis as well as Nimrod. The plot threads involving Sentinel City feel like they are primed to move the X-Men franchise as a whole forward, and I cannot wait to see where the X-Men are headed next. Thank you so much for coming to check out our video review over on Fall of the House of X issue 3, and we'll be back to see wherever this comic book series is headed next. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.